Hi everybody and welcome back to Tales of Wanderlust. I'm Cass, this is Jasper, and if you're curious what we've been up to for basically the last couple of years, then stay tuned. Thanks for sticking around everybody. It's been a long time since I've posted on a regular basis. I've had videos here and there, but it's been a crazy couple of years. And I'm gonna just give you a life update, let you know what we've been up to, what we're going to be up to, and then we'll get into RV and travel content and all of that in a future video. It is hot here, so it is shedding season. So to start, let's start with work and education and all of that. So in the last couple of years, it took me a little bit longer than 2 years because of the way my company paid for it. But in the last 2 years, I really haven't done a lot of YouTube because I've been working on my master's degree. Between working a full-time job and then going to school for my master's, I really didn't have much free time. And with the free time that I had, I didn't want to be sitting behind a computer editing videos. I wanted to be out with this guy. Now I am officially graduated as of May. I have my master's in applied business analytics. So that is officially done. With work as well, I've really been focusing on that. I got a new job, same company, but a new job within my company a couple of years ago. I've gotten a promotion since then. So the last 2 years have really been focused on that. And at this point, I'm in a really good spot. I'm very happy with where I am, and I am relieved that my master's degree is over. I'm very proud that it is done. I almost quit, I will say, halfway through because of how much work it was, but I had a lot of encouragement in my life, was encouraged to finish it, and I really am glad that I did. So that is done, and I have a lot more free time. So with that, let's talk about rigs. I still have not made a video as to why I sold my base camp. So it's been about 3 years since I sold my little Airstream base camp. I lived in it for 4 years. It treated me very well. We just outgrew it, which is funny because I've moved to truck campers, which seem smaller, but there's actually more room inside, and they're a lot more agile than the base camp. So someday I will sit down and I'll do a full video as to all the reasons I got rid of the base camp, because there were a lot, and it really came down to our travel style and me no longer being a full-time RVer, bugs, but more of a part-time RVer slash weekender. So the Airstream base camp is officially gone. Since then, I am now on my 3rd truck camper and hopefully soon going to be on to my 4th. So I'm really trying to make the truck campers work because I love how agile they are. I fit in one parking spot, I can move around, I can get back down these dirt roads to really remote areas like this, which are great for this guy. So I really love the idea of a truck camper, but I have struggled with, as my friend says, finding my Goldilocks. Not one that's too little, not one that's too big, but one that is just right. I also have a single rear wheel Ram 3500, and it has 3,700 pounds payload, which seems like a lot, but once you start getting into truck campers, they are extremely heavy. So I'm running into size issues, payload issues, trying to find the right camper. It has been a struggle. I have actually renovated 2 of the campers. I've done full electrical installs in 2 of them. I just picked up my 3rd, which is actually a Hallmark pop-up truck camper. So I'm trying that out. I always swore I would never get one because I thought it would bug him. We've spent 1 night in it so far. He seems to be doing okay. The wind is actually a lot quieter in it than I thought it would be. So I'm hoping a pop-up truck camper will work for us. Knock on rock, because that's all I've got around me. We'll see if it actually does. I still have my big old Lance. I'm gonna go on a month-long trip here, and I'm probably gonna take the Lance with me, but it is bigger and heavier than I want in the long run. So struggling to find the right truck camper, sticking with truck campers for now. A lot of people ask if we should get a van. I would love to get a van, but I know he doesn't do well in vans. When you drive a van, you've got all of your gear right there in the vehicle with you. It rattles, it shakes. Even if you do a really good job securing it down, there's still some noise, and that freaks him out. We had a Class B long time ago, about 6 years ago. He hated it. So van life isn't for us, so I'm hoping to make truck camper life work. So that's the rig update. No more base camp. Someday I'll have the proper truck camper. Yeah, right there, butters. It's hot, so Jasper's readjusting. So with the life update and then the rig update, what are my travels looking like? So I am no longer a full-time RVer. Back in the day, the sun keeps coming and going. Back in the day, I owned just my 4Runner and just my little Airstream base camp. No storage unit, nothing like that. Everything I owned was with me, and I was a true full-time RVer. I lived that way for about 4 years. Along my travels, I did meet Michael, who you've heard me talk about a few times, and he and I do live together now. So we are based in Colorado. Sometimes we do travel together. Sometimes we'll go out on solo trips. I love going out, visiting my full-time RVer friends, going out for about a month or two at a time, checking out a region, and then going home and having the luxuries of a nice long hot shower and a place where there's the ant. Do you see him? There's an ant crawling over my GoPro. He just went over the lens. I don't know if he got his little legs or not, but he might be back. So my travel style is changing, and with that, the YouTube content will change a little bit. So you'll still get tips and tricks of RV travel. One thing that I'm going to have to learn how to do is how to plan a trip. When I lived full-time, here's full-time. So if I was in Colorado and I wanted to go to Montana, I just find a place in Montana, go up there, and then meander around. Now I want to be a lot more intentional about where I go, what I see, and really checking off places on my want to see list or bucket list, if you want to say, whatever you want to call it. So going forward, I'm going to actually sit down and plan trips more. This past spring, I went on a month-long trip to Texas and New Mexico with a friend. And that was the first time that I actually sat down and did an itinerary, made camping reservations, and really was intentional about my travels. And I actually saw a lot more than I would have if I was just meandering through the area. So it's a very different way of traveling. One isn't better than the other, but that is my new method of travel. It's going to be more of a part-timer way. So I'll have some trip planning videos coming out, different things like that as I learn how to travel this way and really share some of those trips with you. Another kind of video I want to do is itineraries. So for example, this past weekend, I was just in Rocky Mountain National Park. I spent 36 hours there and we were able to see and do some really cool things. So as I learn how to do more compressed trips, I really want to share those itineraries with you, how I packed for the trip, things like that. One thing I learned going from a full-time RVer to a part-time RVer is packing is very difficult when you are used to having everything you own with you. I would never think about what I was carrying. I just hooked up the trailer and I just drove. And I always had with me everything I needed. Now I have to pack. Strangest thing, I'm still getting used to it. I'm learning a lot. I usually forget something. This last camping trip, I forgot a spatula. So we were flipping burgers with a serrated knife because that's all I had. So there's going to be a lot of learnings, a lot of different ways of doing things, but I'm excited to share all of that with you. And now that class is done, I have my degree, I feel more settled at work, I'm really excited to start planning trips and getting back out there. I really want to get Jasper back out running around. I know he misses being in the outdoors, although he does love house life. He has 2 very comfortable dog beds there. He has Emma, so you'll see Emma in some of our videos as well, which is Michael's dog. And he has his route around the neighborhood that he loves patrolling twice a day. And if he doesn't get his 2 daily walks around the neighborhood, he really gets upset that he's missing out on all the neighborhood sniffs and smells. So he's doing really well. And the other thing to update you on is Napoleon. Napoleon officially turns 18 this month, so he is definitely slowing down, although he's still doing pretty well for an 18-year-old cat. So he does come along with us on trips when they are longer. If I'm going on a short trip or if Michael's going to be home, Napoleon will oftentimes stay behind. He's got his house there that he's very comfortable in. He's got a fenced-in backyard, a garden with his favorite catnip bush, and he's really comfortable there. He does still enjoy being outside and in nature, so when I do go on month-long trips, he will come with me. He is starting to have some health issues, which he hasn't had health issues before now, which is pretty good because he's 18. But he does have some colon, kidney, heart issues. So he's on the appropriate medicines, and I'm keeping a very close eye on him to make sure that he's still enjoying life and he is still happy. So that is my main focus, is to make sure that he is a happy little adventure kitty. So with all those updates, if there's any kind of content that you prefer over others, I would love to hear it. Getting back into doing YouTube videos, I do feel like with the lull, I've lost a lot of the content I had planned. Oh, this is weird. Look at this. Those are huge. They had huge orange S's on them. I have no idea if those are military or if those are something to do with firefighting. There is a big fire out in Twin Lakes right now, which is about an hour and a half from here. Side note, always put your campfires out, because the fire in Twin Lakes was started by a campfire that was left unattended. And now one of the most beautiful boondocking spots in Colorado is aflame. But back to what I was saying before we were interrupted by the planes. If there's any kind of content that you would like to see, I would love to hear it. Getting back into making YouTube videos is hard. I was in a natural flow before, had a pattern down, and it was a lot easier to do. Now it's a little bit weird getting in front of the camera again. So I would love some inspiration as to what you would like to see. So with that, thank you for checking in on us. I appreciate the comments on our prior videos, people making sure we're okay, that we're doing all right. And I love also seeing in the comments where you end up going, what inspiration you take from our videos, things like that. So definitely appreciate all of that. And now I'm gonna take this big guy. We're gonna go meander on through the woods, because today is actually my birthday. And I absolutely love the peace and quiet and how happy this guy is out on the trail. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you later.